Okay, so this is the last of this slug of short videos on putting together the maps here. This is going to show, I think I'm going to try about 4 layouts, 3 or 4 different combinations of layouts that all are acceptable and all seem to work really nicely. So the first one is I'm going to make it I'm just going to do uh, the stand boundaries sitting over top of the aerial. So I went from data view to layout view, and I'm going to use my little select tool right here. I'm going to go ahead and try to maximize the size that I've got here. And first thing I'm going to do is insert a title. And I'll just call it Beatty Property. Click OK. And then I'm just going to double click on it. And I don't know why it defaults to this weird kind of like HTML sort of thing. I'm just going to type in Beatty Property again there, so that I can see it every time I come in here. I'm going to change the symbol so that's a little bit bigger. I'm going to leave it black. I think this is light enough I could leave just about everything black in it. And hit OK. Beatty Property. Very nice. Okay, so now I'm going to add just a little line of text under it. And I'm going to say timber stands. And aerial. Actually, aerial's pretty obvious, right? Timber stands and acreage. Okay. Type that in, and then I double click on it, and I'm going to change that to a larger font. 22, that looks pretty good. And now I can move that over here. Okay. And again, if following what we were saying before, you can go ahead and type in the date and the exact coordinate system and all that. I'm not gonna mess with that on this. So the other thing that we include will be the the legend. And in this case, I'm going to move all this stuff out. I'm going to pull Micamine in, streams, and instead of clicking on it, you can just double click and it moves it over. Roads and timber stands. And next, 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 and finish. I'll move that down here. I'm going to put this in. I'm going to actually put this in a slightly gray so that we could actually see what's going on. I think I will just delete this term here. And so it just says timber type there now. Okay. Make that a little bit bigger. And so I've got my timber types and all that good stuff. Got my acreages in here, looking good. And next thing I want to do is add my north arrow. I'll just pick a simple one and make it big enough so it's visible. I like north arrows at the top of maps, no big deal. All right, and then the last thing I want to do is go ahead and enter. I'm going to fix the streams here because that's capitalized and nothing else is. So now it's looking pretty good. Also, I don't know what it is, I just don't like legend at the top, and it makes it a little bit smaller. So there we go. Pretty slick. All right, next, last thing I want to enter is insert is my scale bar. Very important. I'm just going to make it, I don't know, I'm going to make it black and white. And when I double click on it, I'm going to make sure that it is in feet. I go down here and then I could stretch it. So it's sitting right at 1,000 feet. If I go this way, the font actually gets a little larger. That's kind of cool. There we go. Nice scale bar. All right, so that one's done. I'm going to go to my, make sure I'm saving it to my products folder. So I go File. Oh, first of all, I'm going to do a Save As, and I'm going to call this Beatty Veg. Whoops, I want to call it Palmer Veg. I'll call it Beatty Veg. Okay. And then I'm going to export it. It's pointing to the map products, which is what I want. It's going to call it Beatty Veg. The only thing I want to change, I'm going to save it as a PDF this time. Whatever you choose, it could be JPEG or PDF, either way. So it takes a little bit of time to draw it. It's mostly the aerial photography that takes a while to draw. And I'm going to stall the recording while it's doing that. I think it's almost finished. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm just going to simply, I'm going to try something different. Well, yeah, I'll turn on the topo map. I can turn off the aerial imagery so it doesn't have to take all that time drawing it. I'm going to change the name on this to Timber Stands and Topography. Hit OK. And move this over a little bit. I might move it down. It's kind of sitting on that black line right there. Move both these guys down. Okay, nice. All right, so that's kind of nice because you could see the timber stands and the topography underlining that. So that's kind of a neat way of being able to see that. So I'm ready to save this now. Go Save As, and I'm going to call it Beatty Topo. And then I export it, in this case as a PDF. Okay, that one's done. So I'm going to turn off the topo maps, and I'm going to move these two guys back up towards the top a little bit more. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn on the soils map. And believe it or not, when the soils are on just by themselves, they're not too bad. They'll actually look pretty good. So I could just leave it like this, or I could try turning on the ortho imagery as a backdrop. Makes it a little bit more tough to see. They're in there. Or I could turn on the topo. Makes it a little bit more tough to see. I think I'm just going to leave that off. And now I've got a fairly decent soils map along with my timber types. What more can you ask for, right? Okay, so I'm going to call this one Timber Stands and Soils. And I think we're going to call it good with that. Save As, Beatty Soils. Save it. And then export that bad boy. So, pretty much all there is to it. Oops. Well, not all there is to it, but I went ahead and I probably would go back and fix this right here. That's offset a little bit because of the way I typed it. But aside from that, your map is pretty much finished. Okay, you got 3 really good looking layers of data. You saved them as PDFs or JPEGs, and all is well with the world. Okay, so y'all take care.